home without some cursed experiences I faced as a wee little child. So much so that at one point in my life as a youngster, I was fending for my life inside of my own house, hoping that I wouldn't die, which we'll get to later. Starting things off way back when I was in 5th grade, I had an arch nemesis. It all started the moment we had alphabetical seating assignments on the bus. Believe it or not, this kid had the same name as me. So we were bus buddies for the rest of the school year. Now, I'm not one to ever dislike people, but this was a rare occasion where I genuinely couldn't care less about someone. This kid would mock me, mess with my stuff, especially the Pokemon cards and Nintendo DS I would bring, and even create flat out false rumors and unnecessary drama with everyone on the bus. This dude was tarnishing my name. After months of putting up with my bus buddies' annoying shenanigans, he took it to a new level that completely broke me. Whoa, that's a cool Pokemon card you have there. Let me have a look at it. Hey Bugs 2.0, can I please have my card back? I'm not in the mood today. Sorry, did you say your card? This is mine. The moment someone messes with my Pokemon cards is when I am no longer the nice guy. You have 3 seconds to give that card back, or what? Do you really think I'm scared of you? Wouldn't it be a shame if I were to do this? I was in shock. Never have I ever felt so many emotions at once. Sadness, hatred, rage, vengeance. Haha, exactly what I thought you would do. Nothing. Now, I would go more into depth about what took place on the bus that day, but I am not trying to get demonetized here. To put it briefly, I proved who was the superior Bugs, and made sure that he would never talk to me or mess with me ever again. Growing up, I lived in a content neighborhood, for the most part, but there was this one kid that lived just down the street from me who had borderline psychopathic tendencies, and everyone knew to stay far away from him. One evening, 8-year-old me, my brother, and my friend were taking a walk around my block. We began nearing his house as the psychopath was standing out in his lawn playing with a homemade wooden spear. Guys, we should probably turn around and go back the way we came. Oh my gosh, dude, don't be scared. We're fine. Just keep walking and don't make eye contact with him. And as we walked past, my friend thought it'd be a genius idea to bring a laser pointer with him and shine it at the psychopath's house. Now, I'm already on edge because I know this kid's reputation. But before I could say anything, it was too late. Guys, is he running after us? Not only was this so-called psychopath running after us, but he was armed with his spear-shaped stick. This is when the fight or flight instinct kicked in, and we all settled on flight. The 3 of us took off, sprinting for our lives. But I was the smallest and youngest, so my brother and friend quickly outran me, leaving me all alone. I could hear him getting closer until I was suddenly cut off, blocking my way.
Here's Johnny.
Pointing his spear toward my face, he yells at me, "Give me the laser pointer." It wasn't me, I swear. Look, I don't even have a laser pointer. See? Please don't kill me. Fine, give me your shoes then. What? Now! Yes, of course. I threw him my shoes, and before he could take anything else, I saw an opening and juked my way past him. I was terrified, crying, and worst of all, barefoot. I had to run home with my dogs barking. This dude straight up mugged me at 8 years old. Now that you know my newly developed fear of spears, let me tell you how I developed my fear of heights. My house growing up was only 1 story, but elevated to the point where it felt like a 2-story house, making it very high off the ground. My bedroom had a large windowsill, wide enough for me to walk along, like I was balancing on a tightrope. I thought it was fun, a little game I played every now and then. But one night, that game almost ended in a disaster. My parents were having some friends over, and everyone was hanging out in our backyard. Me, being the introvert that I am, hid away in my bedroom. My boredom kicked in quickly though, as I then made my way to the windowsill, deciding that it would be a good idea to tightrope walk across it again. But this time, I didn't realize that the window was now open and that the window screen was completely broken. And as I took my first few steps, I suddenly lost my balance. Before I knew it, I was falling out of the window. I managed to catch myself on the edge of the house, hanging on for dear life. It wasn't long before my parents' friends, who were in the backyard, heard me crying out for help. And to make matters worse, somehow my pants had fallen down to my ankles. So not only am I about to die in front of a huge crowd of adults, but I'm about to do it in my tidy whities. They quickly rushed over and held out their hands, getting ready to catch me from my fall. And the only way for me to get down was to let go and completely fall backwards, hoping they would catch me. Okay, here I come. Wait, Bob, did you watch the football game last night? Oh man, Bill, don't even get me started on that. I'm just kidding. They caught me gracefully, as I then thanked them for their help. But then I immediately remembered I was an introvert and slithered away back into my house. This wasn't the only moment of horror I experienced in that house. My sister, mom, and dad had left the house one night, so my brother was left in charge to take care of little me. Me being the younger brother, by default, I am constantly picked on by my older brother. And in perfect older sibling fashion, the picking on only gets worse when there are no parents around. My brother knew that he only had a few hours to annoy the shit out of me before my parents got back. And so, it began. Boop, 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 boop. Hey Bugs, is this your basketball? Yeah, it is. Why? Betch. Dude, just tap already, you won't. Just give up. At this point, I had just about reached my breaking point. I could feel my anger boiling up. That night, something inside me snapped. Before I knew it, I had sunk my teeth into my brother's arm. Ow! Did you just bite me? Fueled by the surge of adrenaline, I then pushed him as hard as I could, knocking him down into our kitchen chairs. But then, I quickly realized what I had done and knew that I fucked up. In case you didn't know, there is a universal law that no matter what, the older brother will forever be stronger than the younger brother. And never have I ever seen my brother this angry in his life. I only had one option, and this was to run and hide so I could live to see another day. Before he could get up, I scrambled to the bathroom down the hallway, slamming the door shut, locking it behind me as I sat in the corner of the bathroom, worried for my life. And it wasn't long before my brother knew where I was hiding. You really think this door is going to save you? You are so dead once I get in there. All I could do was sit there in a ball, counting down the hours until my parents got home. But even time wasn't on my side that day, as the door handle to the bathroom started to rattle back and forth. You really didn't think I wouldn't be able to pick this lock, did you? I had no other option than to sit there and accept my soon-to-be fate. Don't worry, I survived that night, but not without a fat bruise on my shoulder from the punch I received from my brother. When our parents came home, we both tried to play it cool, like nothing bad happened. Ah! Boys, why is the kitchen chair broken? He did it! Despite the chaotic childhood I had, a lot of the weird hobbies and quirks I had as a kid have stuck with me through my semi-functional adulthood. But one thing's for sure, I do not wear tighty whities anymore. Oh, come on! Hope you guys had a great Halloween. Thank you so much for watching the video, and thank you for 40,000. Growing up, I played a lot of sports, and I mean a lot. Typically, I'd play a new sport that I came across until I got severely injured, and then moved to the next one. And it continued until I landed myself in the emergency room. But we'll save that one for the end of the video. When I was younger, most of the other kids on my teams would use their free time to hone their skills, eat healthy, and recover. I took a more unique athletic approach and chose to use my free time to play video games, eat gummy bears, and make YouTube videos. Because of this disconnect with the full commitment that sports requires, it left me with this awkward half toothpick but also half athletic build of a character. Put it this way, when I played basketball throughout school, we had 3 teams. A team being the best, C team being the worst, and B team being right in the middle. Take your guesses in the comments which team I was on. I can see you typing C team, aren't you? That's what I thought, buddy. No, but seriously, I was on the B team. So, not the greatest, but not the worst. Right in the middle. The Venn diagram of mediocrity, if you will. And this is how it went for the rest of the sports I was a part of throughout my life. It was also playing basketball that I got my first major injury. Growing up with my older brother, he was always the superior athlete, an A-team player, if you will. We were both in basketball season for our schools at the time, and this led him to constantly bug everyone to practice with him. He would gather the neighbor kids, invite them over to our house, and they would all drag me outside of my bedroom to play basketball on our back patio. So not only was I not in the mood to play basketball because I wanted to eat my gummy bears and play Minecraft, but to make matters even worse, it was freezing cold outside. I'm talking snow on the ground kind of cold. But my brother being older than me, I didn't have free will to just go back inside. He had power over me. My brother was on the other team, and a few minutes into the game, everyone's hands were glowing red as they throbbed from the cold. But despite the pain, this wasn't going to stop me from trying to show my brother who the better basketball player was. And that's when I had a perfect opportunity to prove my point. The basketball hit the rim, leaving it hanging in the air, right beneath where my brother and I had been standing. I jumped in the air with my hands straight as a board, frozen from the cold, as I prepared to grab the rebound. This was one of my worst finger jams ever. My hands went from a numbing red to now having purple tips. My fingers looked straight out of a cartoon. Oh wait. As I'm standing there applying pressure on my jammed fingers with my other non-injured hand, wondering if I was going to make it out alive, my brother grabs the ball as it rolled out of bounds. Here, Bugs, take it at the top. My brother threw the ball at me to catch it while I had my fingers together trying to recover my now throbbing fingers. Ow! I dropped to the floor in pain as blood began rushing out of my nose. As I'm getting ready to burst into tears to get my parents' attention, my brother enabled older sibling mode to achieve the mission of never getting caught by the parents. Shh, no, shh, don't cry. Here, listen. I'll let you play on the Xbox. For 2 hours? Hell no, 30 minutes. Shh. Oh, okay, you're fine. Here. You can do it back to me.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Let's just say, neither that day did my brother let me throw the ball at him or let me play his Xbox. But I now had an excuse to not play basketball for 2 weeks because of my jammed fingers. So who really lost here? Am I right? Outside of school in the summers, I would play baseball through a club organization. Once again, on the B team. My team and I, known as the Eagles, were participating in a tournament one weekend. We gathered around the venue as the event coordinator started to draw teams at random out of a hat as a way to create matchups. It felt like the Hunger Games, but for baseball. As we waited for our team name to be called, all of us had been aware that one of the opposing teams, known as the Pirates, had the fastest pitcher in our league, and there was a chance we may have to go up against them. And the last thing you ever want is to get hit with a baseball by a pitcher that throws fast. The Eagles. You'll be playing against... let me see here. You'll be playing against... the Pirates. Wait. As we settled into the dugout warming up for our game, all we could focus on was this guy practicing his pitches. The game had begun and our team was selected to bat first. As you can see, the odds were really in our favor that day. Our coach sat us down and gave us a pep talk before we started. Alright guys, I know this pitcher is throwing awfully fast, but you all need to go out there and hit the ball. Actually, just try not to get hit. Slowly but surely, every batter struck out. I prayed that I wouldn't have to face the Atom Smasher. I sat there on the bench, trying not to make any eye contact with my coach so my name wouldn't be called next. Up next to bat, Bugs. I shuffled my way into the batter's box, standing as far away from the plate as I could. I looked over to my right and saw my parents in the stands watching me. And before I could even blink, the first pitch came right down the middle. Now, most of the time, I'd be disappointed in myself if I were to strike out. But in this case, all I could care about was survival. I was now preparing for the next throw as I heard my coach holler from the dugout. Bugs, yeah, you're looking awfully far away from the plate. You need to move closer. Let him fly, boy. And once again, being of young age, I hadn't unlocked free will at the time, so I moved closer, putting me right in the danger zone. The second pitch came hurling at me, and I mean at me. No, like actually, the ball was coming at me. Now, in this situation, the regular protocol here is to back up out of the way. But I had no time to think and went with the best option I could think of, and this was to turn around. What was I thinking? I then braced for the impact. Now, before this game, my parents and I knew that I was already on the verge of quitting baseball as I wasn't enjoying the sport all that much. And let's just say that was the last straw. Yup, he's done with baseball. Yup, he's done. But hey, because I got hit, I made it to first base. So I guess you could say that that was one last good run. Even though I was an average athlete, I did in fact have one sport I played where I was actually not on the B team. This being hockey. Take your guesses which team I was on this time. Now, where was I? Yes, for hockey, I was on the A team, aka much better than these two behind me. I think everyone can agree that hockey is one of the more injury-prone sports out there. So I guess you could say that that was one last good run. Even though I was an average athlete, I did in fact have one sport I played where I was actually not on the B team. This being hockey. Take your guesses which team I was on this time. Now, where was I? Yes, for hockey, I was on the A team, aka much better than these two behind me. I think everyone can agree that hockey is one of the more injury-prone sports out there. You can get hurt in a lot of different ways. Slamming into walls, getting tripped and falling on the ice, or even fighting your opponent. All of these have happened to me at some point during my hockey days, but didn't leave me with any scarring, except for this one incident. I was on a dead straightaway down the ice rink during one of my games. The puck was ahead of me sitting up against the wall, and right alongside me was an opponent, who was also on a dead straightaway toward the puck. And spoiler alert, I won the race. Or so I thought. I had caught so much speed that even though my opponent was now way behind me, the wall of the ice rink started to approach a lot quicker than my brain could comprehend.
Wait.
I panicked and threw up my hockey stick in front of me in order to stop myself. And let me tell ya, it sure did stop me. Ugh. The stick had speared me and jammed way under into my ribcage. I was lying there trying to find my breath for a good minute. I wish I had a more badass injury that went along with hockey, but nope, it was myself versus my own hockey stick. And last but not least, let me share with you how I ended up here. The emergency room. I think it's only fair I now talk about a sport where I had been a below average player. The C team, if you will. Rather, this sport wasn't a team sport. It consisted of a metal plank connecting 2 wheels and a handlebar. Yup, I was once a scooter kid. Instead of doing all of the sick tail whips and backflips, all I could do was pedal and bunny hop? Does that even count? And on this one day, I had pushed myself beyond my limits as a beginner rider. My friend and I went to a skate park with our families and decided to do some sick tricks while everyone else hung out in the parking lot. The two of us took off, both riding scooters in an empty park. Now, the older friend I was with was a much better scooter rider than I was. He had been doing all of the cool tail whips and 360 tricks that I aspired to learn. And so he became my teacher that day, and I was the young Padawan.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
He started off by showing me some of the basics, how to get my jumps higher, how to wheelie, and even a back 180. I was really getting a hang of things. You're doing a great job, but in order to become a scooter Jedi, there's one last trick that you need to learn. And so, as a young Padawan, I followed by his side as we made our way to the top of the ramp. Alright, here's what you need to do. Watch closely. Woohoo! And let me tell ya, this ramp was high, above normal height. But my dedication to improve was not going to be stopped by my fear. See? Not too bad. Give it a shot. Okay, alright. 3, 2, 1. Here I go! As I held onto my scooter and sped down the ramp, my back wheel got stuck on the half pipe, causing my body to fly over the handlebars and launched me headfirst with nothing to stop myself except the ground below. I had no time to react to the fall, and instead of using my hands to brace my impact, I used my chin instead. So not only did I now have a huge gash on my chin, but I was now left unconscious at the bottom of the ramp. My friend hurried me over to both of our families, where I was then rushed to the hospital to fix up my chin with a few stitches. And for the people that showed up to the skate park after I had just been rushed to the ER, I just know that their skate session was automatically ruined once they saw the amount of blood that was left covered on that ramp. I don't think that's what they meant by make your mark. But hey, all these sports and injuries led me to the person that I am today. And at least I didn't sustain any permanent damage. Real quick, before you guys click away, make sure to go down in the description and follow each and every animator that worked on this video. Without them, it would not be possible, and I want to thank them so much for their hard work. And last but not least, make sure to subscribe